Hey everybody, MichaelBtheGameGenie here, and tonight we're going to be playing some pinball. I'm very thirsty for pinball. I've got my Arcade1Up Bally Williams table pre-ordered, but still waiting on that. I've got my AtGames Legends pinball pre-ordered, and just pre-ordered that last week, and that's going to be April. So I don't have any pinball yet, and I'm really thirsty, really jealous of guys like P-Dubs, who has pretty much all the tables except for his Arcade1Up one, and my buddy Cool Toy, who has all the tables in existence except for the Toy Shocks. So tonight I'm going to be getting some of that aggression out by playing the Attack from Mars and other Bally Williams tables that's going to be on the Bally Williams Arcade1Up table. Anyways, thank you so much everybody for joining me. Let's get started. So I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat so far. I see Mike Hawk Hertz. He's been here for a while. Sorry if my accent caused that to come out a little bit weird. Hollywood Polo, who is like one of the nicest guys in the world. Thank you so much. I'm assuming there. I apologize, but Polo, thank you so much for being on like everybody's stream and being like just generally the nicest person in the entire world. P-Dubs Arcade Loft. Hey P-Dubs. We got a revenge match coming in Fatal Fury Special at some point. You know that, right? Dylan J, thank you so much for joining. Scott J, how you doing tonight? I don't want to hear a poem. We've also got Leah. Leah, how you doing? Dylan J. Tony C, where is Zohar? I hope Zohar shows up. I like Zohar. Kev Grit, I'm very sorry. I know, this is really late for me. Brad O'Connell. Did you put... what is Brad saying? I can't see it. Oh, you can put time out in the Rexer show. Style and Steve, yeah, I know. What accent? That's the funny thing. Everybody tells me that I've got a really strong Newfoundland accent, but people from Newfoundland themselves say I don't have an accent at all, so it's kind of funny hearing. Lacrosse, thank you so much for joining. All right, guys, so what we're going to do, we're going to be playing some Attack from Mars tonight. I'm going to show you guys my horrible skills. P-Dubs is right. Not so much about Canadians being bad at pinball, just I'm bad at pinball. Here we go, full screen. So you guys know I've talked about this a bunch. I've changed up my computer, got with a new computer to make it better for streaming. So hopefully this looks pretty good. I'm still working on the format, what I want to use for a full screen display so you guys can see the comments, but you can also see me and the gameplay properly. So this is what I'm working on right now. I just got to make sure I get the chat back up. And thank you everybody so much for coming on here tonight. I really appreciate it. I know it's late. I tried to mention this earlier, but well, I'll get out of this altogether, actually. I definitely don't want those added features on. No, playing's fine, but we're going to exit game, quit game. Exit the single player, so we can just start. Anyways, I meant to do this earlier, but I have to put my daughter to bed. We have a 4-year-old daughter, and me and my wife take turns actually putting her to bed. And tonight it was my turn. So I had to put her to bed, and I told my wife, once Scarlett goes to sleep, I'm going to get up and stream some Attack from Mars pinball. And I just fell asleep. My wife came up and tried to wake me up at 11 o'clock, and I just didn't wake up. And honestly, I wouldn't have gone on anyways, because P-Dubs was doing his I Hate Monday shows, and that was important. And then Rex was doing his show when I actually did wake up, so I wanted to watch that first. So here we are. I know it's really late, and I apologize, but I'm up. Let's pinball. So first up is Attack from Mars. I'm not good at this game. Like, this is a game that you really gotta nudge in. I'm not a nudge player. I don't know why. I just can't get used to it. Start new game. But I'm okay-ish. I mean, I think, I don't know if this is just Nintendo Switch, but like my top score is like 2 billion points, and that puts me like 2,847th on the leaderboard, at least in this. Edward, how are you tonight, man? Let's see who else joined. Thanks everybody for joining. All right, so you guys are gonna see, and usually I start out really, really poorly with Attack from Mars. Like I'll do one where I won't even get to 100 million. I might have to move back a little bit. I'm very close to the screen. See what I mean? It's gonna give me my ball back, right? No! Oh yeah, I'm in trouble. Oh, I apologize, I gotta get the camera set up good. Alright guys, hopefully this isn't as bad as what's first off. I love Attack from Mars. The minute that Arcade1Up announced that Bally Williams table at CES last year, watching Retro Ralph's and Cool Toys coverage, I was in love immediately. You'll see what I mean though, I'm not a nudge player, so I rely heavily on trying to stop the ball with the paddles as it's on its way down, try to knock it just enough. Anyways, it was after that, I had never really played pinball except for, I mentioned it the other night, like Sonic Spinball and playing like console pinball games. So I played a lot of like Alien Crush and Devil's Crush on the TurboGrafx 16, which are excellent games. And that was really my pinball experience. But when I saw Arcade1Up, I never played it in the arcade itself, but when I saw Arcade1Up we're going to release this, I went out, I bought the Zen pinball packs on my Nintendo Switch, and yeah, I've just been playing like crazy. I love it. Ball locked. You gotta do that 3 times to get your multi-ball going, but then when I get multi-ball, I do terrible. Oh no! Well, I tried. We're gonna try this again. Flippers, not paddles. I'm very sorry, Tony. Again, I've been very honest about this. I'm a complete pinball newbie. And I'm still at the point right now where I'm playing for fun. So they are flippers. Those flippers work one at a time, I know. And I was afraid when I was doing the At Games pinball stream last week that Rex was going to see the way I played, because I do play the double flipper style a lot of times. Like, it's not very often I'll actually play with one flipper unless I'm trying to intentionally get the ball to go from one side to the other. See what I mean? Terrible. Ball saved there. Also, I gotta get an accurate listing. I don't have all the tables that are on the terrible. Scott J, it is possible to move the DMD. Your logo is covering up the score. Oh, I am so sorry. Jeez. I didn't even think about that, Scott. I gotta tell you the score. I'm at 22. Last time I got 446 million. Right now I'm at 22,450. Jeez. I don't know what I can do. The only way I could do it was I'd have to take everything off screen, man. That sucks. Can I move the logo? There's ways to do it. I just have to play the table differently. Give me a second here. View 2, View 3, View 4, View 5. Options.
Audio options. Video interface. Video.
I don't know how to do it. I'm very sorry. I hope you guys don't mind. I will, next time I stream this, I for sure will figure out how to properly put the score in a place where you guys can see it and my logo won't be covering it up. It's very easy to drain in this. I love the mechanics of the Zen pinball games. I like the look. I don't like the extra stuff. I don't want any of that stuff. I want this to be real as real to the real pinball experience as possible. So I don't like the extra CGI stuff that's going on, and I don't like their other games. Like, I tried because I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. I love Jaws, so I picked up that Universal pack. But the thing is, like, it's not like, it doesn't feel like a pinball game to me. Tis an OBS or overlay option. Takes tweaking. I know, Nicholas Marine. That's my overlay that I put in there myself. That's one I built in Photoshop. So I just didn't have the foresight to realize that it would cover the score stupidly. Alright, I promise I'll do a good game before this is over. Yeah, the center target is brutal, especially the ball comes down so quickly, but that's why you gotta be a nudge player. And just not a nudge player. I just can't get used to it. Maybe on the real table. But one thing I have seen, like in Cool Toys video and a lot of others, man, you really got to nudge that table in order to get it to work. It's crazy. The other single player mode is a little easier. Yeah, but we don't want easy. With arcade games, I don't like putting stuff on easy settings. I like to try to play it with its original concept in place if I can, so. Ah! Even though I'm terrible. Thanks very much, Steve, for stopping by, brother. Yeah, I still have a lot to learn. Like I mentioned, I'm relatively new at pinball. This is new to me. Something I've really got interested in and addicted to. Ah! Easier, still not easy. Well, maybe I will come back to it. Edward, who knows? The center target is brutal. Alright guys, feel free to let me know in the chat too if there's a specific pinball game you want to see me play. I'm usually much better than this. I think I'm just a little bit distracted. I apologize. Is this on FX? Yes, Keto Wolf, this is on FX. I wanted to get it on FX because that's what the Arcade1Up pinball is based on. So I wanted to, you know, get in on the experience as early as I could. Look, see? I'll use the nut flippers independently just for you.
Nothing can defeat us.
Ah! It moves so quick! Devil's Crush, Nicholas Marine. I've played Devil's Crush quite a bit, but this is Attack from Mars on Pinball FX3. Devil Crush is certainly probably one of the best console, especially in that era, based pinball games. Anyways, yeah, another thing I noticed tonight, like, I've been watching a lot of the streams because all the pinball units that are out there are one of either, they're either Star Wars or Marvel right now. Like, Doug has Marvel and everybody else has Star Wars. And what people are talking about is the games actually don't take up the whole playfield, and it's because they're not designed. They're designed for this form factor. They're designed to be a video game, not a pinball table. So transferring to a pinball table, a lot of times, they get a little bit smaller. Like, I noticed that with Back to the Future. I'm like, how would you make this into like a pinball table? Like, I don't know. I've never tried the Zen stuff on a in-cabinet mode, because I've only played it on my Switch, but maybe it looks better in person than what I think it does. I don't know.
Get the troops ready.
There it is. Stupid. Come on, Mike. Man, I'm getting some bad scores in this tonight. So you don't have to give me anything, man. You just come and hang out, brother, and just be cool. That's all I've ever wanted from anybody. Nobody's got to give me anything. Just come here and hang out. Yeah, so Concept, you know exactly what I'm talking about, brother, and thank you so much for joining. Scott James, how's it going, brother? Your Average Gamer, thank you so much for coming. Sulpris, thank you. I am playing a Switch, yes. Jeep Wrangler, can you use it to get in on the FX3 tournaments? The Arcade1Up pinballs? No. They're not going to be connected for whatever reason. I don't understand. Yeah, I know, Keto Wolf. Jeff Rainwater, Zohar, just take out a second mortgage on your house. Zohar doesn't have to do anything. Zohar is always welcome here and never has to super chat. You can just come and hang out. Yeah, I feel bad for the US that you guys didn't get the early advantage on this. It's one of those weird things, man. Like, it's 100%. Retailers know what Marvel is, they know what Star Wars is, and that's an easier sell for Arcade1Up to retailers like Walmart. But when it comes to Canada, I mean, they've developed a relationship where places like the Brick, and they've got a great contact at the Brick, and now their new relationship with Best Buy, even Walmart. I mean, they'll just take what they can get. They can literally sell anything here. Ah, no, that's stupid. I was doing so well. So, I mean, we had an option to do our pre-order really super early at the Brick, and even Best Buy had it up, and Walmart has an option up to, it says out of stock, but what that means is when they actually have physical stock, you can just buy it. So, like, that's always my fail-safe with pre-orders here in Canada, is, like, I ordered NBA Jam, pre-ordered NBA Jam, and through GameStop, and they oversold the pre-orders for NBA Jam, so they just didn't send my cabinet. And I was cool about it. I went to check with them. I waited a bunch of times, and it just sucked. They just couldn't provide me with an update. So I ordered it from Walmart, and I had it in like a week. So that's what I did. Hey, Jolly Green, thank you so much for coming by, man. Like, I wish you guys could have seen me playing yesterday. I was playing this prior to doing that Mario stream I did, and I was getting multi-ball every time. Of course, tonight I played like garbage, so. What? Scott, Arcade1Up pinballs are 1,400 Australia. No.
Classic single player results.
Mike Baum, Arcade Attack from Mars has been sitting on pre-order in Canada forever. Yeah. There's a lot of streams tonight, Zohar. Thank you so much for stopping by, man. I really appreciate it, brother. Alright, so we're going to exit the single player, and let's try a different one. I'll go back to Attack from Mars. Attack from Mars is probably my favorite pinball table. Like, that's the one I like the most. But we're going to jump in on another one that's definitely on the...
Single player.
Nope, that's not what I want to do. Definitely on the cabinet. You can see here, this is my whole Zen collection. You get the free ones, which I have no interest... well, no, that's my collection. But you get the free Zen Studio Sorcerer's Lair, and then you have their own creations. It's not something I'm interested in. And, like, I didn't buy anything else. Like, nothing else is something I'm interested in. I, like, literally am here for the Williams. Bally Williams Pinball. That's it. So let's go over to Medieval Madness. And I'm going to be honest, I was very surprised that this one ended up on... Very surprised this one ended up on the Attack from Mars pinball, because if they were going to do a second Bally Williams table, I mean, you would have to think that Medieval Madness is probably the number 2 game that they could possibly sell. I guess Funhouse would be another one, but I mean, Medieval Madness is a very sought-after cabinet in the pinball world. Like, Attack from Mars demands big dollars and is looked at as sought after, and so is Medieval Madness. So I was surprised that not only are we getting Attack from Mars, but we're also getting Medieval Madness on this pinball table. So it became an absolute must-buy for me. Your Average Game, this is one of my favorites. Yeah, this is... Medieval Madness is fantastic. Fantastic game. Great era for pinball. Like, when Attack from Mars came out, and also Medieval Madness was like the second coming of pinball. That was around the same time that, like, Adams came up and some of those great tables. So there we go. That's a good start. Ball 1 locked. Ah! Like, every time you go into a pinball table, like, it's really interesting. Like, you got to get used to the way the table plays, and you think, oh, well, you played one pinball game, you played them all. Totally not the way it is, because they all work differently. They all have different mechanics. I really got interested in pinball, and like, I still don't know anything about it. I barely know most of the table I play's rules, even like how to get multi-ball, the story they tell. I don't really understand that. And it is not letting me at that gate, is it? There we go. Bring down the drawbridge. There we go. I really want to... Yes! Got it open. There we go! I had to take down the castle for you guys. That was the whole idea. That's not a bad start. Oh, this ball too. Not a great start. Light extra ball. And see, I don't even know what that means. Does it mean I got an extra ball? Ball 2 locked. Ooh, if we can get multi-ball going here, that would be very exciting. And, of course, I drain immediately after I talk about how well I'm playing. That's Mike. Yeah, so if you guys are out there and you're thinking about getting any of the Arcade1Up pinballs, I mean, for me, right off the bat, I mean, this is the one to get. I watched a documentary called Special and Lit. I don't know if you guys ever seen that, but they talk about like how people extra ball. I'll take that. They talk about how like the really good pinball players can do stuff like, oh, we got multi-ball. Get the ball to go from one side to the other and juggle it back and forth. I mean, I don't know if like that kind of skill is talked about in the V-pin level, but that's certainly where I want to be one day. Maybe I gotta start using my flippers independently to get that good. Multi-ball! And I lost. It's gone as quick as it started. Not a bad score, definitely not my best. Ah, there it goes. Not bad for first try. Oh, that's right, I got an extra ball. I completely forgot about that. Boom! Alright, let's see what more damage I can do. There we go. There we go. There we go. New high score. Likes that. Troll Madness is lit. I have no idea what that is. But we're playing a new territory now. This is my newest high score I've ever gotten in this game, so I don't know what this is. Multi-ball madness! Oh, this is dope. Likes that. That's a good way to end this game for sure. I'll take it. Oh, I have no idea what I finished up with the score. Are you asking me how would I compare this to the Games experience with frame rate? Honestly, I find they move kind of the same. The only thing that, yeah, that's my new high score. Previous best. Okay. I wish it showed me where I stood in the rankings. Still, I know it's terrible, but, you know, that's pretty good. Imagine this with haptics. See, I know Keto Wolf, that's what I'm thinking. I can't wait to get that Arcade1Up table. I'm so excited about that. That was awesome. I love the Bally Williams tables. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll go back to it, Mike. It's very similar. It's a very similar experience. Like, it's a difference of mechanics. I mean, with the Legends, I've got right here, Legends Gamer and playing pinball on that. I mean, the big difference, of course, is the pinball buttons on the side, and the experience is, you know, the same for me. They're just different tables. I don't really, not a pinball expert. I can't tell you with the frame, like the frame rate, I don't find hard. You're at the bottom of the ranking. I know, Sulpris. Let's see. I can't be that bad, can I? Yeah. Anyways, it was a good run on Medieval Madness. I find it's fine. I don't prefer one over the other in terms of how they work mechanically. I prefer the tables specifically over each other. Like, there's some Zen tables that I just don't interest me. I don't dig them. Like, it's not for me. And then there's some, you know, the Farsight Experience tables that I don't dig. They're not for me. But then there's other I really like I love Haunted House. I can play Haunted House all day long, and I have no issue with frame rate, anything. Like, the frame rate they say with the Games pinball experience is 30 frames per second, but it's above that. They're saying there's a minimum of 30 frames per second on this device. There's a minimum of 60 frames per second on the pinball table. That's how I understand it. Alright, so we're going to exit the single player. I'm very happy with that score. 8,330th in the world, so I've got a better overall score for my Attack from Mars score. Alright, let's go back. Let's choose a different game. What else is on the cabinet, guys? Let me know. I could have just looked it up instead of being... Let me look it up. I know Fishtails is on it for sure. That's not a table I'm familiar with. I don't think Circus Voltaire is. Hey Mango, how's it going? I should have had all this prepared, right? Also, really cool video from Cool Toy today. I don't know if you guys seen it. About how he went out and spent $10 and now he has a glass top for his Arcade1Up table. That is definitely something I'm doing. I know they went with a you know, harder plexiglass, but there's just no substitute for glass. That's one of the things I like so much about the So much I liked about the At Games pinball table as well. Tales of Arabian Nights is on it. Alright, let's play some Tales of Arabian Nights. That's right, Tales of Arabian Nights was one of the games that replaced Funhouse, right? Alright, I'm not familiar with that table either. I mainly, you know, it's like my Arcade1Ups. There's about, you know, sometimes 5 or 6 games. I mainly play the marquee games. So when I come into here, I mainly play Attack from Mars. Even though I got some of the other ones.
And hot seat.
Classic single player. Alright, Tales of Arabian Nights. If you back up, I mean, you should be able to see tournament mode you can join. Interesting. Scared Stiff. I said this the other night to the Farsight team and to At Games. I was like, man, if you guys could do an Elvira Scared Stiff, that would win the pinball war. If they did a second, I talked about this earlier, Jeff. If they did a second, I was really surprised it wouldn't be a Medieval Madness table. I would say the marquee, because they got to go by the Zen games they have now. So I would say, and we got pinball, the new Pinball FX coming out, which might change everything. But right now, it would probably be a Funhouse. I'm guessing Funhouse would be the marquee game on the cabinet. I don't know. It's another thing. It depends on how the first Bally Williams table does. If retailers will pick it up, like us hardcores it'll do fine. But what about casual gamers? That's the real question.
In ancient Baghdad, a most beautiful.
Oh, master, I am ready to obey thee.
Well, that's right. Get out there. I don't know this table at all. Not familiar with it. So I don't know the rules, and that's a new thing to me too. I'm a complete novice at pinball. I was like, rules? Doesn't you just hit the ball? Ah, junk. She has 3 pinballs. Yeah, there's Scared Stiff. I knew about 2 of them. Scared Stiff, and like I was watching somebody play Scared Stiff on VPX there the other night. They were talking about how racy it was.
Hit the oars.
You will never get her.
Also, guys, if you like pinball content, you gotta go check out my buddy Crow. Oh, there's a genie in this. That's perfect. You gotta go check out my buddy Crow. His YouTube channel is called The Crow Continuum. He does some amazing, pinball videos. He covers like a lot of the Zachariah tables. If you're interested in learning more about those, previous to Zachariah coming out, either if you're a well-played fan or if you're going to get him on the At Games table. So Zachariah's there. He does a lot with Pinball FX. He's covered most of the games on Pinball FX. So excellent resource when it comes to learning about BPX content is Pro. And he's got some real pinball tables too. Like he's got an actual original Time Machine, which is one of the coolest games from Zachariah coming out that I've seen anyways. Papa Pinball. Okay, I'll check out Papa Pinball too. That's a new one for me.
Classic single player results.
Guys, also, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Like I said, I was going to do this earlier, but I fell asleep putting my daughter to bed. She wanted to watch Kung Fu Panda for the billionth time, so we fell asleep watching that. My wife tried to wake me up earlier, and I just wouldn't wake up. Papa Bear was tired, and plus I didn't want to, you know, then P-Dubs did his stream, and Rexer did his stream, and I didn't want to try to go head-to-head with my friends, so I didn't want to do that. And apparently, I haven't watched P-Dubs yet, but apparently that went really well with the guy Bill McLaughlin from Neo Geo. I'm looking forward. I'm still going to get a chance, it looks like, to review the traveling Neo Geo cabinet. So I'm still excited to do that. And like I've mentioned a bunch of times, I've still got the Neo Geo cabinet in my checkout for the place here in Canada that sells some Canada computers. Still thinking about it, but I'm trying to save money right now because I just dropped a bunch of money on the Arcade1Up pinballs, and I also a bunch of money on the Arcade1Up pinball, and I just ordered the At Games pinball, and I got the new computer, so a little broke. It was called the Crow Continuum. Mango? Back when I started YouTube back in 2012, I met Crow through a thing we used to do. I don't know if you guys were around back then, but there used to be video responses. So the way that a lot of us met in a specific retro gaming community was another friend of mine, EdT1138, had a show that he put out every Tuesday called Top 3 Tuesday. So he would do a video featuring a different member from the community who would talk about just something in retro gaming, top 3 handheld games. And then we all had chances to make video responses and get to know each other. And that's how I met Crow and so many people that I met from the community. That's how I met Billy from the Game Chasers, who, here's this celebrity making this giant show, the Game Chasers. And he used to hang out and, check out with us in Top 3 Tuesday and sometimes make video responses. That's how I met some of my best friends on YouTube, like Ed and my friend Chris goes by Weekend Game Guy, and also my friend Stu, Mr. Dude 206. Still talk to today. We've been friends ever since, and we met just doing these response videos to that. So YouTube can be a really cool place sometimes for meeting people, sharing like-minded things. And hey, Camo, how's it going? It's great that when I got into my arcade hobby, which is actually completely RGT85's fault, because I've known RGT85 for a number of years, back when he had like a relatively small channel, and he started covering the Arcade1Ups, and he made me guaranteed I was going to buy one. So he's the one who got me to buy my Street Fighter cab, and I'd always wanted one arcade cabinet. So I said, I got Street Fighter, that's enough, I don't need anything else. And then he started doing the coverage of Mortal Kombat, Final Fight, and Turtles, and everything just went to hell from there. Now I have like 18 arcade cabinets in my house. How do you spell it? THECROW Continuum, I think is what he goes by. I used to know him as just Crow, so CRO, like WWW, he used to go by. Yeah, thank you very much, Mango. Worst case scenario, I'll share it over my social so you guys can find it. Alright, let's play this one again. Again, guys, I'm not that familiar. What table from the Zen lineup for Williams are you disappointed they didn't put? I am playing this, Tyler. Everybody, my friend Tyler's in the chat. I don't know if you guys know Tyler. He does a show called My Retro Life. He is one of the best guys on YouTube, one of my longest friends on this, and he has an amazing history with video game collecting. Him and his dad, who's not with us anymore, was a huge video game fan, and all Tyler's life growing up, his dad used to take home videos of them collecting their games and their game collection, their journey, and it is some of the best stuff you'll ever see on YouTube. The videos are so well done, so well edited, tell such a good story. So go check out My Retro Life as well, please, as a personal favor to me. Huge Sega guy too, so if there's any Sega fans in the chat, this is where you want to go for Sega content. He originally started out, before he was My Retro Life, your first channel, Tyler, was the Sega channel. And I don't know if the video, yeah, I think you put the video back up, where it's your wife and you did the Phantasy Star Christmas commercial. That was the first video I ever saw of yours, and I immediately fell in love with it. It's like a modern day Christmas commercial for Phantasy Star on Sega Master System.
This genie is powerful. Unleash the lamp's power.
Yeah, I gotta say, most of these Zen creations, the Williams tables, I really like the Williams tables. They're really well done. I got a question for you pinheads in here that might know a little bit better than me. I mentioned it the other night. Who holds the rights to the Data East tables? Does anybody know? So the Data East tables like Batman, and there's a Data East Star Wars. Who has their rights now? Is that G mode? Because if it's G mode, I mean, I would imagine Arcade1Up and Zen or even Atgame should be able to get that license pretty easily, shouldn't they? Because I mean, G mode are known for selling their licenses pretty easily. So, yeah, did Data East retain the rights to their pinball tables, or did they pass them off to Stern? Yeah, Sulpress, that's what I was thinking. I thought I had heard that somewhere Stern had picked up the rights to the old Data East tables. I wasn't sure. And then now someone else is saying Feral Inferno, G-Mode holds the rights. Alright. So let's go check out Fishtails. Fishtails is also on it, and Getaway's on it too. Getaway, for those not familiar, Stern owns Data East. Huh, the Data East pinball side. And whoever gets Stern, that's going to be huge too. Like when John D last week was talking about that huge announcement, I for sure thought it was a Stern partnership. I was like, man, and here's the thing, like, oh yeah, Scared Stiff that's going to be the winner. Whoever gets Scared Stiff wins the pinball war. That's my opinion. Actually, for me, whoever gets Nightmare on Elm Street Gottlieb, that's the person who wins the pinball war, because that's the one I'll be playing all the time. Alright, Fishtails, what we'll go to next. That's definitely on the midway table. Look, Detroit Love! Detroit Love's been playing some Fishtails. That's a big score, Detroit Love. Good job, man. Stern is coming. Where do you think Stern's coming to, your average gamer? Thank you so much, Jeff Rainwater. Fishtails, The Getaway, High Speed 2, Junkyard, Whitewater, Red and Ted's Roadshow, Hurricane, Tales of Arabian Nights, and No Good Golfers. Perfect. Play Getaway. I will play Getaway next, Rex, I promise. Getaway's fast, man. I find Getaway is challenging. I'm not familiar with Fishtails at all. Stern is Data East. Data East told to Sega, and then Sega Pinball sold to Stern. Yeah, that'd be a big one. Like, I said it, I didn't know the difference. Like, when Arcade1Up were coming out with their Star Wars table, I said, man, they really should do the Data East, art. And I just assumed that there was some real pinball tables on it, because I wasn't familiar with what the Star Wars pinball Zen tables were at the time. So, you know, but now I know. I mean, they're all, you know, original creations. You know, I don't know. I assume that, like, modern virtual pinball isn't made to be pinball. It's made to be like a video game, right? But maybe that's an incorrect statement, and I don't want to offend any virtual pin fans. I'm not knowledgeable enough. Yeah, I can see why people like this table too. Really good table. I also think I'm a simple person. I really love, like, all the flashing lights and stuff. I'd love to have a real pinball table. It's impossible to find here. People are selling pinball tables that are broken, beat up, and they want like $2,000 for it here we're on to. And I just don't have the knowledge or the money to be thrown into keeping a pinball table going. Ralph talked about it on the stream today. Like, if you have real arcades, real pinball tables, I mean, unless you yourself are very good, there's constantly one down, there's constantly something wrong. And, like, I mean, I'm just so overwhelmed by trying to fix an arcade cabinet that a pinball table, oh my god. Brad, if you were putting time out, man, it must have been by accident. I know I'm streaming late, Rex, but I explained it. I fell asleep earlier. I meant to do this earlier, but I fell asleep putting my daughter to bed. And then P-Dubs was on live, and you were on live, so I didn't want to try to jump in then. And I'm up, so might as well. Ooh, U-turn. I can't wait for my Arcade1Up cabinet, Arcade1Up pinball table to get here. It's been over a year now. Like, Ralph and Cool Toys CES videos from last year came out a year, and I've been sitting here chomping at the bits. There were two things that I was 1,000% getting when I saw those videos. It was the Attack from Mars pinball table and Golden Axe. I've got Golden Axe now. I love Golden Axe. Now I just need my pinball table. And it's been so hard to watch people do the reviews. Like, it's hard for me anyways, because I'm in Canada. We always get our shit so much later than everybody else, right? So, I'm behind the 8-ball. Like, people who get reviews out and do so well with reviews. Jamie's in the chat. I haven't seen Jamie yet. Jamie, how's it going, brother? But everybody who gets, like, the Arcade1 cabinet in the US, I mean, they can get their reviews out faster than anybody else. So, like, it's the kind of thing where it really matters how quick you are. Like, people want early information about this stuff. Like, you take a look at you have the highest score among your friends on this table. I did not beat Carl's score. Anyways, so, like, you look at my X-Men vs. Street Fighter review. Here in Canada, there was a fluke where we got that cabinet, like the actual full version of that cabinet, before that was available in the US. And that one, you know, did really well, lots of views. But a lot of times, my stuff's coming out like a month, 2 months later than everybody else. So it's tough. Like, I mean, we might get lucky with Attack from Mars. I might be able to get that review out in a timely manner. But, you know, usually people are ahead of me, and I'm playing catch-up. Like, I'm going to do a review of the Legends Gamer Pro. Now, this is more my fault than anything else, and that's going to be way after everybody else. So, but it's my take on it, and hopefully you guys are still interested to see it. I'm trying to see here. It was brilliant. Yeah, guys, Rexer is showing some of that Detroit rap influence in his stream tonight. This is terrible. Anyways, things got pretty ugly in the home arcade and Bun Space this last little while. I mainly like to have fun. I like everybody's products. I'm not brand loyal so much as I just like to I enjoy everything. I hit multi-ball on this one and I don't even know how I did it. There we go, I'll take that. Stupid. Me trying to be tricky there and I couldn't do it. Anyways, the one thing I will say about it is Arcade1Up is doing a lot of these new partnerships, which is really cool, like Supreme, Bait, all that stuff. And, you know, good for them. That's a great opportunity to grow their brand, and you have to grow your brand in this industry. I get it. But the one thing I will say is they're advertising these partnerships, which are to bring in new audiences that don't necessarily appeal to the hardcores, Like, you can't tell us there's going to be a big announcement if it's something that isn't going to appeal to your hardcore audience. So I find that really strange. Like, I guess the way it was sold afterwards, like watching Ralph's show, was, listen, it's those partnerships that'll allow us to grow. And you know what? We released like the Din Mac 30 Street Fighter, get our brand up, sell more cabinets, and then we can do a Robotron. Well, you know what? I can buy into that because I want a Robotron, and it probably won't be an easy cabinet to get into retailers' hands, so do whatever you gotta do. But you gotta understand that you can't sell these growth things to your hardcore audiences. We're not going to get excited about it. It's not going to get the reception that you want. We don't understand it the same way you. It might be excited for you guys as a business, but it's not necessarily excited for us when we're sitting there saying, where's NFL Blitz? Where's Simpsons? Where's those things? When you tell us there's going to be big news, that's kind of what we expect. Not these partnerships that, realistically, me as a 40-year-old man, I don't know who half these people are. I don't know what Supreme is. I'm not trying to be super critical there. That's just words of wisdom. Those partnerships are awesome. It's just, you can't really hype them up to your hardcore audience because we're here for different reasons. We buy your stuff because we like classic arcade stuff. And that's as much as I'll talk about all that foolishness. So I'm here for pinball. Pizza Hut Pac-Man. I have zero interest in Pizza Hut Pac-Man. Cammy. Beta program was the big announcement. I'm not... Yeah, maybe it was. Like, that was all very confusing. There was a lot happening there. And the beta program is very cool. I've looked into it. I might even apply yet. I went in to start filling it out, and then when I saw that you had to add your resume, I was like, oh, man, I hate updating my resume to apply for things. Like, what do you need my resume for? Like, I don't have any video game experience. Like, I got a business degree, and I'm a CEO of a charity. Like, do you need my resume for that? I told John D they need to manage expectations better, and the community won't jump on you as much. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about managing expectations. Like, even their halftime show, they did a pretty good job of that. They came out and they said right off the bat, listen, we're not here to do product announcements. And I get it. They can't do product announcements all the time. I'm not going to get into it much further than that. It's just the partnership stuff is very exciting from a business standpoint, and I'm sure they're very excited, and I'm sure it's a really good thing for the company, but a lot of your core audience is mainly just here to play games. I just want to play games. Like, you know what? There is partnerships I like that I see. Like, AJ Styles has connected with Arcade1Up, and they're sending him cabinets, and he's a big fan of them. I'm a wrestling fan, so, like, that partnership, like, I see that, and I'm like, oh, neat. Like, cool. I think that's really cool. But, like, other stuff's not really for me. And sometimes we don't need to harp on Arcade1Up or say, why is this? Not everything's designed for us. Sometimes just let them do their stuff and focus on what you like, what they do. And, you know, try to stay off the negative, I guess. Like the Dinmac thing, like that's not for me. And instead of harping on it and jumping on it, I was just like, nah, I don't care. You know, good for them. But there is some exciting news for that, for like the Countercade people, is we're going to be getting a horizontal screen Countercade that's 2 players. So, you know, there is some good news for classic arcade people on that if you like Countercades. I'm definitely playing High Speed after this, but High Speed is really fast. I'll take your 5 million. I'll take your 5 million. See, this is how Detroit Love gets those giant scores. Legally owned arcade ROMs. Nobody has legally owned arcade ROMs. Just got X-Men, Killer Instinct, Dragon's Lair, and Legacy Cavs. Is that not enough, really? No, I totally think that's enough. And listen, man, I want to buy every single cabinet. I was actually relieved when I saw stuff was coming up that I didn't have to buy. I was like, oh, thank God, my poor wallet. So, I don't know. It's just, you know, people are like more. They want more. Don't worry about that. They just should have let it sit. Let your stuff sit. You just did huge announcements. Let it sit, man. Oh, genius, Mario. Yeah, actually, I do dig Fishtails. I never really gave it a chance before, but I really like this. Table. No, Last Gamer on Tube. AJ Styles, and came down to Australia and went through his video game collection. Cool. All right, back. Where were we to? I like that it just times too. You can come back in. Well, for this, anyways. Ah! My goal is to beat Detroit Love's score. That's what I'm here for. I'm not gonna do it, but yeah. I say I like Fishtails too. And with this view on this table specifically, at least you guys can see the score, right? There we go. Take your points all day. Ah, drained. Terrible. I'll come back for you someday, Detroit Love. 2 fish caught, bonus 15. What am I at? Almost 15 million. That's not too bad. You have to rock the boat for that.
Classic single
Alright,
player
that's
results.
my highest score anyways in this game for sure. I haven't played this very much. Previous best. My leaderboard rank 33,000. Not so good.
Single player and hot.
Alright, let's go back.
My
We're gonna play
collection.
Getaway for Rex.
Single player and hot seat.
I'm really jealous of Rex's Donkey Kong build, and like I watch a lot of. I don't know this stuff because I'm super knowledgeable. I watch a lot of. Well, I'm a little bit knowledgeable now because I watch so much stuff. I watch a lot of John's Arcade, and they've covered a lot of times the red Donkey Kong cabinet. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, I know. That's because they were unused radar scope cabs. So like I knew exactly what he was talking about and why he did it. And most people, when they find, even though everybody remembers like the blue Donkey Kong from King of Kong, but the red radar scope cab is the one that everybody gets and they're like, oh, I'm not going to touch. The other thing too, Rex, you would know this, but apparently the actual ROM in the red cabinets actually plays a little bit differently too. Some kind of glitch or something in it. I don't know if you can correct me on that or tell me what the deal is, but apparently it's not the final DK ROM on the red radar scope cabinets. So that'd be interesting. Are you gonna track down that ROM specifically to put in? See what I mean? It's so fast. Like you don't even know what's happening. Does Zen have the rights to high speed itself, or just the Getaway? But this is really hard to follow. Whoa! Ah, there's a second flipper there. That'll show you how unknowledgeable I am. I didn't even know about the other flipper up top. Oh, I'm sorry, Rex. Oh, is Sulpers ruining your video? I don't know if it was me or not, but yeah, that's the glitch. I remember now. So guys, let me know how many of you guys have ordered an Arcade1Up pinball table, and which one did you get? Did you guys go with the more modern ones that are based on the big franchises? Like, I'm a big Star Wars guy, I'm a big Marvel guy, so even though, you know, I don't know if that's something I want in my arcade, which is tables that aren't based on real tables, like, because I'm building an arcade out of these Arcade1Ups, that's my intention, right? So I want everything to be classic and real art, and that's why Attack from Mars appealed to me so much. But, you know, I am interested in Star Wars, and I am interested in Marvel, and I think the art looks pretty cool. It's just not the classic stuff, right? But let me know which ones you guys are getting, which ones you guys like. I watched some of Justin Console Kids coverage. He got his Star Wars cabinet. I don't think Justin got anything special. Like, I think that Justin was legitimately honest. I think he ordered his from GameStop. It just came when it did, and I think Doug did too. I don't think that Arcade1Up has that kind of pull to tell GameStop when to send those guys their cabinets. And I know, stupid, I wasn't watching. And I know both of them are the kind of guys that if they were given a cabinet for review, they would just straight up tell you, well, I got this cabinet for review. That's important to me. I don't like when people don't do that. I'm not calling out anybody now, but like I've watched videos before, like I'm not calling them out, but I'm gonna get in trouble for calling them out. NBA Jam, there's a YouTuber by the name of Conflicts who does stuff for Arcade1Up. Did an interview with David McIntosh right back around CES time, and they clearly sent him an NBA Jam for review, and he didn't mention it in the review. I thought that was kind of strange, but maybe he just overthought it. It's just, I'm the kind of person I fixate on that stuff. I'm like, you have to say it. I'm weird. I got a weird code of ethics. Like, if someone said something to me, even if they said, please don't mention this was sent to you or something like that, I'm going to say it. That's the way I work. I want people to know. Like, my last review, I got my IR Arcade. They sent that to me for review. Someone responded with, this is not a real review because they sent it to you, so obviously you're going to say you like it. I don't work that way, but that's fine. He thought that way, and I told him, okay, cool, man. Well, why don't you check out Complete Geek TV or Cool Toys Review? They did really good jobs, and I know for a fact they paid for their cabinets. Getting a little too preachy here tonight. Too late.
Shift gears.
Shift. What did they do? Shift. Night Rex. I know, it's super late, man. I don't know how long I've been playing for. You guys been watching the coverage for the Infinity Game Table? They sent one out to your gaming techie, and I gotta admit, like, when I saw the Infinity Game Table, I was like, this is not a product for me. But I've been watching his coverage. He's doing a good job covering the release of the table. He covered Scrabble in his most recent video, so if you want to know more about the Infinity Gaming Table, your gaming techie seems to have the scoop on it right now, so go check his stuff out, guys, if that's something you're interested in. I think that's something Rexer actually said he was interested in, too. What time you got there, Genie? Oh man, it is late. It is 2:50 a.m. where I'm to. But I've already been asleep for a couple hours. I still don't know if I'm going to get the Infinity game table. I will tell you I am worried about the price point here in Canada. Because I didn't jump in on the Kickstarter. And I heard David McIntosh on his CNET interview that he was doing earlier. And he talked about the American price point at retail being somewhere between $800 and $1,000. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, oh my God, how much is that going to be Canadian? Like looking, Arcade1Up's conversion is one of the better ones. They seem to have better supply chains than some of the other companies, and it's less expensive to get stuff here to Canada for them. Usually, you know, we pay a lot, but what we pay is usually right around where it should be in terms of exchange, while other people have additional expenses. Like you'll notice, like the At Games table is in At Games arcade cabinet is $8.99 here in Canada. That's not a 1-for-1 with the exchange because there's additional costs. Arcade1Up, I guess, where they're a bigger company, can get stuff down here a little bit cheaper. But still, I mean, if it's $1,000 US, I don't know what the conversion is off the top of my head, but we're looking at probably $1,400 Canadian. So that's going to be a hard pill to swallow for me too. Good night, Scott J. It's going to be a hard pill for me to swallow to pay for the Infinity game table. People who jumped in on the Kickstarter are going to get it good. $6 million. Yeah. Yeah, Jamie, the $6 million is the thing. Hi, Craig. They do have license. Just felt second was better. Pinball Arcade already did the original high speed. Let's try to get away one more time. Maybe I shouldn't have. Oh, I can't wait to play this on an actual pinball table. Well, actual B-pin table. I gotta be careful saying that now. I don't want to upset people. Oh, this is going terrible. 5:20 p.m. Right around supper time. Good time. You know what? I kind of feel a little bit dumb because I just put a bunch of money into my original Arcade1Up cabinets. Like my first one was Street Fighter. I just bought that new light up marquee and it cost me like $130 Canadian. And then I did one for Mortal Kombat, and then they announced those legacy cabinets, and I'm definitely getting the Street Fighter. I did hear, didn't come to fruition, I don't think, but in Canada, the Midway legacy cabinet should be going up for pre-order at retailers this week for us here in Canada. So keep an eye out for that, guys. But you know, I just put those money in, and now I'm going to turn around and probably sell those because I'm going to get the legacy cabinets. So I felt a little dumb about doing that. But at the same time, I don't know when the legacy cabinets are coming, and honestly, the light up marquee for me really makes the experience so much better. Makes my arcade look better, so I don't know if I really wasted money. I spend money differently on these Arcade1Up cabinets. Like if I had bought an accessory for my PlayStation, I spent $100 on it, and then I got rid of my PlayStation like 6 months later. I feel pretty dumb about it, but I guess I'm justifying it with the arcades. Do you actually play all 18 in your cabs? I do. I play, like, I get in moods to play different things. Like, I'll go down there, I turn them all on, and there's ones I go to all the time. Like, I really like Star Wars and Pac-Man get a lot of playtime, and now with Miss Pac-Man's taken away from Pac-Man's playtime. Centipede, ever since I bought Centipede, I play that a bunch, even though there's that new Tempest cabinet coming out. Even though I'm probably going to buy the new Tempest cabinet, I'm not going to get rid of my Centipede because I love Centipede on the long screen, vertical screen, so I don't, where the new one is just going to be Centipede on a horizontal screen. I don't want to get rid of it. I love my Centipede. Hopefully Let Up Marquito's come out for that one. I'm a big beat-em-up guy, so I play Turtles regularly. I play Golden Axe, all the games on the Golden Axe cab pretty regularly. Final Fight and 1944 is the one I play on that a lot. There's not really any cabs I don't play much. Mortal Kombat, I play a bunch, but I don't play it like you would normally. I turn it on and then just coin in the other person and just practice fatalities. I don't play the computer much. Like Mortal Kombat 1, I'll play the computer more than Mortal Kombat 2. Mortal Kombat 2 is a cheap game. You gotta be cheap to be good at it. Mortal Kombat 2 sucks playing against the computer. Awesome for 2-player and awesome with the fatalities. Yeah, I play all of them. I like all of them. The only one I don't play a lot of is my Rampage cabinet, which is surprising because it's got a really good selection of games on it. It's just, I don't play it as much as I thought I would. Centipede art is fantastic. Like, I completely agree with that.
Single player and
Alright, let's go check out a new one. So, I think Go Go Golfers is also on it. It's too bad there's not Monster Bash and Creature from the Black Lagoon, but I'm going to be honest, they're either going to be on the next Williams cab or they're going to be on the Universal cab because they're based on, sort of, the Universal movie Monsters. And the thing is, there's only 3 Universal games, so if they did a Universal table, they got to put at least 10 games on it. So what else would it stick on it? It'd stick on Creature from the Black Lagoon and Monster Bash, and I'm guessing then we get some Zen Originals maybe. I don't know how else you would do it. Alright, so Junkyard. That's another table on the Bally Williams Attack from Mars table. Let's go check that out. I knew you were going to say Rampage. Me too. Rampage itself is really fun for a multiplayer game. You can just coin in over and over again, and I know you can limit your points to see what your score can be, but it's more fun playing with somebody else. My favorite game to play on that is Defender, but it's really hard to control. Really hard to control. Joust is fun, but it's not necessarily my favorite game. I've never been a huge fan of Balloon Fight Joust, the mechanic, so, it is what it is. And Rampage is, it's okay. So, yeah, it's got cool looking artwork, and I like the idea of it, but I'm not going to miss it when I transition it out for the Midway Legacy cab. That way I can play all the games, and Rampage, Defenders can play better with Mortal Kombat control panel. And then Midway Legacy cab's got Root Beer Tapper. I'm excited about that. I'm not excited about playing Paperboy on it. I kind of wish they would take Paperboy off that. But maybe it's the only way we'll ever get Paperboy. Who knows? I was really excited to see Tapper, but I was thinking the whole time, I was like, there's no way they're going to do Bubba as a Tapper. I was hoping we'd get our own Tapper cabinet with Tapper, Root Beer Tapper, and Timber. Like, that would be a dream cabinet for me. I'm pretty sure we are getting, even though John B said the other day that they don't have the license for Simpsons and Smash TV. We're getting both those cabinets this year. I think they're further ahead than they're saying. That's my opinion. But me personally, I watch a lot of the classic arcade stuff, and you got to understand how important Robotron is as a game. That's a huge one for collectors. Everybody loves Robotron, and I know people think the Smash TV artwork is better, and that's cool. But I'm gonna be so disappointed if the cab is Smash TV instead of a Robotron cab. I'll play Robotron on it. I'll be happy to have it, but I really don't want a Smash TV branded cab. I want a Robotron branded cab.
classic single player results.
We need Rampage World Tour on Arcade1Up. I think Midway is really pricey to deal with, and I think that's why At Games hasn't really jumped in yet. Like, you got to think about it. The only way At Games is going to add those. The only way At Games is going to add like more games to the system is if more people are on ArcadeNet, and more people are playing. When ArcadeNet builds up, they're going to add new titles, but then it's got to make sense. So, like, you know, if there's only 10,000 people on ArcadeNet paying for the subscription, and it costs like $1 million to get Mortal Kombat. What's the cost per user? It's got to make sense, right? But if it's $1 million and the cost per user is $15, I mean, your ArcadeNet subscription doesn't pay for it. It's hard to add it. But it's a chicken and an egg thing with the At Game stuff, right? Like, people say, oh, they don't have titles. They do have titles. It's just they don't necessarily have ones that... They don't have as many 90s ones as 90s arcade fans would really appreciate. But, you know, it's like arcade, too. The more the community builds, the better the games will be. But then some people subscribe to the notion... once you build it, then they will come. So you spend the money up front and hope that you'll get the return on investment. I don't know what the right answer is there. At the end of the day, I'm just happy to have lots of different options to play arcade stuff. I bought my first arcade game this weekend. I got Dragon Lair 2 at the Time Warp. And I gotta say, honestly, I know Dragon's Lair 1 is the game everybody talks about. It's the more iconic game, but I like the makeup of Dragon's Lair 2 more. I don't like how in Dragon's Lair 1, they just push you ahead. Like, if you mess up something, you just go to the next section. I like how Dragon's Lair 2 makes you go over the exact same section again and again until you get it right. Like, I think you could fluke your way through Dragon's Lair to some extent, but Dragon's Lair 2, you got to be good. You got to know the game. I had to pay more attention to the chat, I know. I'm horrible. I get so distracted. Hold on, I'll jump in here and see who's still with me. What happened on Monday Night Raw? I did not watch Monday Night Raw tonight. I'm a big wrestling fan, but I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't watched Monday Night Raw in over a year now. I'm one of those cranky people who just kind of got fed up with Monday Night Raw. It was too much of my time. I got a daughter. I don't have much time. Any of my free time goes to, you know, I try to play a little bit of gaming. I try to spend some time working on YouTube stuff. So I don't really have 3 hours to invest every Monday night, especially if I'm not having fun and I'm not enjoying it. I've really started to enjoy watching AEW. I try to tune into that on Wednesdays. That's been fun because it's new and it's different. They do things that I'm not tired of seeing. It's not the same formula for the past 20 years. And then I watched SmackDown a little bit because the wrestling quality is a little bit better. I'm in Canada, so we don't get NXT live, or else NXT would also be on my radar. But by the time NXT comes out, NWA, it's really sad to see what happened to NWA. When NWA came out last year, it had such a good feel to it, such a buzz, and they had the Dokken song, Into the Fire. I loved it. And they're losing all their people right now. And Shockwave, I haven't been able to get into Shockwave as much as I was into the original NWA Power. I don't know if that's gonna have legs going forward. Just doesn't have the same feel for it for me. Do I listen to Jim Cornette? No, I don't really listen to any wrestling podcasts right now. In the summertime, me and my wife drive around a lot, and we'll listen to Eric Bischoff. That's the big one we listen to. I actually got a really good friend of mine by the name of Doug Halliday. We were talking about doing a wrestling podcast one time, and I was like, there's millions of wrestling podcasts out there. And he said, oh, I'm connected with Conrad and all those guys. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, you know, we'll get to it. And we started talking about doing it. Anyways, we never ever got around to doing it. And now he's got his own show on ad-free shows. He does the Creative Canvas with Doug Halliday. So how cool is that? Doug's a buddy of mine. We go and get burgers every now and then, and I'm very proud of him. He's an amazing artist. He's actually working on a new thumbnail logo for me. He's going to do his art style, and it's me in front of my arcade, so I'm pretty excited about that. Looks like At Games paid their server bill. Bobby Broadway. That was Bobby. I'll answer you directly about that because I'm on the At Games influencer list. I'm not paid by At Games. I don't get anything from them. They just give us information, and we're part of a community where we can talk to each other. They give us information on new stuff coming out, and they were very open and honest about what happened. It wasn't an issue with that. There was an unscheduled maintenance of the server. The server that they have is a very expensive server, and it was just unscheduled maintenance at a time where they didn't expect it. It's like the nightmare situation. Like I work in the not-for-profit. So Bobby, you know what it was now. I mean, it was something. You plan things. Like I work in the not-for-profit sector, and we plan events. Before I worked in the not-for-profit sector, I worked for a call center, believe it or not, and I was like special events manager. My whole job was coming up with events, community relations. And I will tell you right now, as much as you plan these things in the outside and fun things to do, something's going to happen. And that really sucked for National Honors Day. That's why they're doing the additional contest now where you can win the Legends Ultimate Mini. So, hopefully jump back in, and hopefully you can get in on that and have a chance to win the Legends Ultimate Mini. And I'm sorry that happened to you, brother. Yeah, a spike of users. It wasn't a spike of users. It was just, like, honestly, the server itself was just doing maintenance that they didn't know was going to happen. Is Bravely Default 2 a lot better than the original game? I will tell you, I started playing the demo the other night, and I got my I bought every single Bravely Default game, and I've never ever played through a single one. I have Bravely Default, Bravely Second, and I started playing the Bravely Default 2 demo the other day, and it's good, but there's something about it that kind of turns me off. I'm a very classic RPG guy, so I want everything to be Final Fantasy 4, Final Fantasy 6, Final Fantasy 7. And they have the default mechanic in there that kind of, it just, I don't know. I'm playing the demo to see if I'm going to like it. But I'm definitely going to force myself to go back and play the first Bravely Default again before I agree to purchase Bravely Default 2. Like, I bought Octopath Traveler, knowing full well they used a wait and hold mechanic like Bravely Default does. So, and I ended up liking that, so I'm going to give Bravely Default another chance. I don't like that mechanic though. Like, you can only attack certain times. Like, just make it a straightforward Japanese RPG. The only game that I know I can count on for being a straightforward JRPG now is Dragon Quest. When a Dragon Quest game comes out, you know you're getting good stuff. The only one I didn't really like was Dragon Quest IX. I know people love Dragon Quest IX on DS, but I did not like the fact that there wasn't a real party, that you could only really play as one person, and then you had to rent a party. It drove me nuts.
Classic single-player results.
Really? Yeah, it was a bummer for them too. I gotta be honest. Like, you can say what you want about their machines. If they're for you, they're not for you. But as a company, man, they're really good. Like, we're in the influencer. They treat people with respect. They don't go out there. They don't, do too much in the community. They just go about their business. And people are constantly trying to knock down their efforts and their work. And they don't respond. They just go out there and keep making really good products that the community enjoys, and they build a really good community. So you gotta give At Games a lot of kudos for the way that they've conducted themselves. There's a lot of shots thrown at them, and you know, they just go about their way. Ah! Sylvando killed Dragon Quest XI. Yeah, he was interesting.
Come on, hurry, hurry, hurry. Come on, hurry, hurry, hurry.
Man, I am not good at Junkyard. Oh, Bobby Broadway, don't worry about it, man. Like, are these tables under Stern on the Nintendo Switch? I don't know, Jolly. I don't know about Stern on the Nintendo Switch. I gotta take a look for it. Like, mainly, only pinball I've got right now is the FX3 stuff on my Nintendo Switch, and the Parasite Pinball Arcade stuff I've got through AtGames products. I haven't really looked at the other offerings, but we'll have to see. There's been rumors too, I don't know if you guys heard about this, that there might be tabletop pinball offerings coming from some of the other companies too. I know that Toy Shock has a tabletop version coming out with a big screen on it too, like an 18-inch screen. There's rumors now that maybe Arcade1Up might be looking at doing, you know, they've got their countercades, but maybe we'll see a countercade pinball from them. And the survey from AtGames, they talked about doing a smaller version, so maybe we're going to get smaller versions of pinball in the near future from all these companies too. I know Arcade1Up did a lot of stuff last year with like the plug-and-play consoles, and then they were talking about mini consoles. And I think they're just trying to hit different sectors in the environment. You know, not everybody is going to spend $400 to $500 on a 3/4 scale cabinet, and the countercades didn't really attract as much attention as they can. So, I mean, the plug-and-play consoles and the mini home consoles were maybe a way to bring a new audience in at a cheaper price point. And maybe they're going to look that way with their pinball offerings too, depending on how well it goes. Ah! I really messed up. Apparently the weekend there was a huge sale on Steam for Pinball FX. And I meant to jump in on it because I just got a new gaming computer, so I thought great way to add like some of the stuff in. So I'm going to have to check my Steam account later to see if they're still there, still on sale. I was hoping they'd also be on Nintendo Switch because I was hoping to add the new pinball pack with Funhouse on it. Oh, that was on the DMD. I wasn't even paying attention. Out of ammo. This is not my favorite table. Camel, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that, man. Or, you didn't have to do that. Thank you. I kind of joked with John D on Twitter because he posted that he had got one of the Dim Mak countercades and only 30 available. He was like, I got mine, did you get yours? And I was like, man, it's almost like you had advanced knowledge these were coming out. And like different people like different things, man. I'm sure there's a bunch of people that are thrilled to have that. Like, I had never heard of Steve Aoki before. And then I watched it and I was like, he's a Pokemon card guy? Like, does Twitch Pokemon cards? And then I found out like he's a big DJ and, you know, artist. Good for the... Good, man. I don't know. Add the FX3 game to a wish list so you get notified when they go on sale if you haven't. Yeah, I've got that done on Nintendo Switch. I'm really, really new to Steam, so you're going to have to give me a heads up on how I do that, maybe.
I'm Crazy Bob! First trapped in my junkyard! Again!
Yeah, so another thing I'll mention to you guys while you're watching now, I don't know if you noticed, but I ended up changing my room back. I had this grand strategy that I was going to make all this space in my arcade and all this room for all the new arcade cabinets that were coming out. And I'm going to be honest with you, my grand strategy did not work. So then I tried a second strategy to make 3 rows with 1 against the wall and then 2 back to back, but there just wasn't enough space going crosswise. So they're back and they're all jammed together now, and I gotta have to figure something out. I got a feeling that I might be at the end of that arcade room pretty soon, and I might have to look at a new option. I might be moving back into my original room, which is more of a square, and then there's my basement where my arcade is actually an old apartment. So I might be taking over 2 rooms and using the kitchen in the apartment too, and that will become my new arcade. We'll see. And then the arcade I have currently will go back to being the storage room. And where my weights are. We'll see. And a shoot toasted dog, don't shoot the girl.
Got him. Get away from me!
Ah, better than last time though.
Let's go.
Magic boss, what's happening? Multi-ball! I'll take it.
I don't think we should do this.
Don't listen to her.
Who's out there?
I love when everything goes crazy. It makes me very happy. And then I lose multi-ball immediately. So you work that hard to get multi-ball and then you're gone.
Come on, hurry, hurry, hurry.
Yeah, there it is. Gone.
No chance.
Hey Sean, how's it going, brother? Can I add you as a Steam friend? Absolutely, Polo. I think I'm just MichaelBtheGameGenie in there. Alright, Edward. Yeah, it is super late here as well. I got a feeling this will probably be my last game anyways.
Great. Now get that TV.
Multi-ball is lit.
Ooh, there we go. Extra ball is lit. Now we keep hearing that pinball showing up any day now. That's what I keep hearing in Canada. Some people even said it might be here as early as next week, but I don't think it's here in Canada yet. The original date that we were supposed to get it was February 5th, but that's come and gone, obviously, so hopefully it's not too much longer. But you know what? Like, is Steam for computer gaming? Yes, Steam is for computer gaming. I got a new PC for editing and for doing these streams, and that's one of the side benefits. Is it also has a PC gaming aspect. I got a gaming PC, so I've been enjoying that side of it a little bit. I've never been a big computer gamer, but there's so much you can do. Also with the AtGames products, you can plug in your computer to the AtGames and kind of play through that. Like that's how people play Mortal Kombat 11 on their AtGames cabinet. So that's what I'm kind of looking at as well. Doing some late night. Brad, thank you so much for joining. Sorry it was so late, brother. I appreciate it. I was going to be up anyways, fooling around, playing this. I've been playing a lot of this lately because I joke with Cool Toy all the time. I'm so thirsty for all this pinball. So, I can't wait for it to get here. I've been waiting so long. So excited. Like, I was hoping I'd at least have Toy Shock by now. Because the original idea, like when we talked to Jeff Falke on the Super Game Room dudes earlier this year, was they were hoping to have Toy Shock here by September. So, like, I was hoping I'd at least have one physical pinball table by this time. I'm surprised the AtGames pre-orders went up in Canada as soon as they did, so good job to them. Hopefully the wait's not too long. They say it's April, mid-April, but I've been told that depends on if they got the order out of China before Chinese New Year. So hopefully April is when we're getting AtGames cabinets. And Arcade1Up, people started doing the snooping, and they found out that Straightforward Sales has a bunch of Attack from Mars in the docks in the U.S. Straightforward Sales is a Canadian distributor, so hopefully we don't have to wait that long for our Attack from Mars. Hopefully it's any day now. That's what I'm banking on because I need this pinball real bad. Now we'll never see WrestleFest, but I give props to a company that could do Royal Rumble pinball with a modern reskin with updated WWE logo. You know what? I'm not going to say we're not going to see WrestleFest. It's a logistics nightmare from a licensing standpoint because, and I've talked to John D about this, and he told me that's exactly what it is. The problem is, one is getting the rights to the game, like getting Techno's WWE to agree to it. Then it's the individual wrestlers' licenses themselves. So anybody that's not under a Legends contract, I can't find you, but I'm... Okay, I will look for you, Polo. Anybody that's not under a Legends contract, they would have to contact them directly and do individual deals. But then there's another side of it in getting WWE to agree to letting them be in the game. And plus, it's not WWF anymore, which all the logos and branding is, so they would have to go in, rewrite the code to make it WWE because WWF won't do that. But then WWF has to agree to some of the wrestlers that aren't under Legends contracts. Like, from what I understand, Demolition were, but they're no longer under Legends contracts. At least Smash isn't, and he's in that concussion lawsuit, so they might not want him to be in the game. Then you got a guy like Jake the Snake Roberts that's currently with AEW, and the question is, do they want him in the game? So if we do get WrestleFest, it would probably be more like what they released for the Xbox 360 arcade a couple years ago. They re-released WrestleFest with some of the original wrestlers, and then they added some modern ones like Undertaker and John Cena. If we ever get WrestleFest, it's probably going to be something like that, and I don't know if I want that. Right now, I'm pretty content playing WrestleFest in other ways. I'd love to see a WrestleFest cab, but not unless they could do it right.
What does she know anyway? Who's out there?
Oh, people! It's amazing. I went from not being a big pinball guy to this being one of my absolute favorite things to do. And I don't even have a real pinball yet. I keep meaning we don't have an arcade here. Actually, we might have a new one done up, from what I understand. but I keep meaning to go to, I forget what it's called, the Rec Room, but then our COVID stuff went out of control again. So, but next time I'm in the Rec Room, I want to go and check to see if they do have, oh man. I want to go check to see if they do have a pinball at the Rec Room, which is like a big modern arcade. Like they got modern arcade games, a lot of redemption stuff. But I mean to go in and see if they got a physical pinball there I can play.
Classic single-player results.
Well, guys, I've really appreciated this tonight. Thank you for joining me and letting me play some pinball. I really, really appreciate it. It's addictive. I mean, I meant to only go on for an hour, and I think I ended up doing a little over an hour and a half, surprisingly, but that's the way it goes. You start playing and you don't want to stop. What's my favorite Zachariah Deluxe table on Steam, Polo? I haven't played any of the Zachariah Deluxe tables. I'm a big fan of playing the original tables, and mainly that's what I want to go in and play. I want to play the original Zachariah tables as they look. If it's not broke, it's not pinball. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. This is Michael B. the Game Genie. I'll talk to you next time. Hopefully it won't be so late at night. See you guys.